So welcome to this short video on burnout. My name is Paul Garrigan and I am a human performance and men's coach. And during this video, I'm going to share with you some tools and techniques for how to understand and how to overcome burnout and how to get back to living a more fulfilled and energized life as a man. So when we look at what burnout is a biopsychosocial syndrome, and it emerges as a prolonged result to chronic stresses that we face in our everyday life. So what does that mean? So in our everyday life, we are involved in different things and different things are asked of us throughout the day. So we will have social structures where our energy is put into, which might mean your job, your career, your passion. You will also have family dynamics of how you have to show up as a man, as a father in your relationships and the things that you hold responsibility for. And you also have the physical dimension and element in terms of your input and output and what you are actually capable of and what your limitations are. So when we are constantly outdoing and overgiving that which we are able to do, this is going to lead us to a place of overwhelm. And when we are in a place of overwhelm, this is going to lead us to what I call shutdown. Now, when we've got to a point of shutdown, this is where we will feel depressed, tired, lethargic, mentally fatigued, lacking purpose, procrastinating, unable to get up of a morning, lack of energy. And then what happens is we go into these cycles of burnout as men, and we punish ourselves for being in these cycles as if we shouldn't feel this way. Now, this is your system feeding back to you that you need to do some very specific things in order to alleviate the symptoms and onset of burnout, because it comes in different stages. And if you don't listen to the body and to your own system, you'll be forced to listen to it through health. So how it may show up in your life. So if you're a man who is a high performer, if you are a man who is ambitious, who is courageous, who is looking to be successful, then you will be a man who is juggling many, many plates. A man who is not only working and providing, but a man who is being the father, who is doing as much as he can as a father. The man who is also holding it all together in the household. The man who is there for his wife. The man who deals with the problems. The man who wears many, many masks. So with wearing the many masks that we wear as men, we become very, very stressed with having to hold so much and having so little internal space that sometimes we feel that we can't breathe any longer. And a great way to understand if you're burnt out is tuning into the wisdom of your body and noticing the depth of your breath in the body. And if you're feeling a shortness of breath or a lack of space in the body, this is an indication that we're holding an energetic charge. Now, if we continuously hold this energetic charge and these energetic stresses within the body, that then shows up as chronic stress in our life. This chronic stress in our life over a prolonged period of time suppresses and down-regulates the immune system. So what does that mean? If we suppress and down-regulate our own immune system, we are going to make ourselves sick. And the biggest killer for human beings isn't any disease, it's stress. So if we don't deal with our stresses and we don't discharge the stress that is building up within our system, and we don't learn the art of self-regulation, then we are a ticking time bomb, because this stress will overwhelm us and overwhelm our system. And if you are to put a 20-volt life on a 10-volt system, and your system may only be 10 volts, and you're trying to live a 20 voltage lifestyle, what's going to happen to the system? It's going to blow up, it's going to explode, and it's going to malfunction. So it's really important that we have some coping mechanisms and strategies in place to not allow our lives to get to burnout. Because in the Western world and in the way we live, we are applauded for the more that we do. We are branded as successful because we can work 16-hour days and live on only 4 hours sleep. When in fact, this is a myth. You can't live on only that amount of sleep. You can't work that many hours because your energetic system can only do so much, and eventually it will burn and it will break down. So what are the coping strategies and what are the mechanisms and functions that we can put in place in order to stop ourselves from burning out? So immediately, if you're a man that is feeling overly stressed, you're probably not able to sleep of a night. You probably wake up feeling unrested. The number one way in which we can alleviate symptoms of burnout is sleep and rest, which means spending longer in bed. So if you're a high functioning man who puts a lot of effort into getting up at 5 a.m., yet you find you are burning out, stop getting up at 5 a.m., take longer in bed. It is recommended to take between 10 to 12 hours in bed if you're getting to the point of feeling burnt out. Even if you're not sleeping, simply resting, not sitting there on your device, but giving yourself the time, space, and energy to simply allow your system and your nervous system to decompress. So we're allowing it to digest all of the charge and all of the strain that has been placed upon it. This allows us then to recharge. You wouldn't take your iPhone out the house uncharged, yet you do it to yourself every single day. So that would be number one. Number two would be creating a nighttime routine in your life. So what does this mean? Many of us as high performers and high functioning men are on our devices very late at night, are eating very late at night, are still taking in all these stresses, maybe sending emails, getting back to people, watching the TV really late, but doing things that are activating our nervous system. And of a nighttime, we need to be working to deactivate the system in order for our brain to start to release melatonin, which allows us to then fall into a place of rest, digest, and sleep. So bringing in some nighttime routines and habits will alleviate any symptoms of burnout and help you to start living a more relaxed life. So as part of a nighttime routine, my recommendations will be potentially looking at breathing practices that you could do, looking at a slow and soft breathing routine, maybe welcoming in something called NSDR, which means non-sleep deep rest, bringing in some sort of protocol, whether that's throughout the day or just of an evening, to help you simply wind down and drop into sleep. It would mean dimming the lights maybe half an hour before you go to bed, or simply switching the lights off. Maybe watching TV with blue light blocking glasses on, so your mind isn't being stimulated and the parts of your brain being activated to stay awake. Even bringing in a meditation-like practice. It could be a body scan practice, something that is going to allow your body to feel calm and relaxed. Maybe even putting an incense stick on in the room, or some candles, or having a warm bath, something that is going to allow you to simply just rest and be. And the final recommendation for burnout would be bringing in a daily breathing practice, because the two number one factors for longevity for how healthy you are and for how long you live is how well you sleep and how well you breathe, because we only get so many breaths in a lifetime, which means how you breathe, is the rate of your breath and the depth of your breath is highly important for the length of your lifespan. So bringing in some sort of breathing practice that is going to allow you to build CO2 and air hunger tolerance. It is allowing you to use your full lung volume capacity. It alleviates stress. It allows you to build your nervous system capacity in a safe and steady way. So some breathing practices I can recommend are three-part breathwork or three-part breathing practice, which is called Dirga Pranayama. It's a yoga type breathing, and it ensures that we are using our full lung volume capacity and the function and mechanics of our breathing is optimal. And another breathing practice I would recommend is bringing in a simple exercise of breathing in for 4 seconds and breathing out for 6 seconds, ensuring that we are breathing in and out of the nose through all the breathing practices that we do. So these are the practices that I would begin to implement immediately in your routine should you be suffering from stress, overwhelm, or an early onset of burnout. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and some of the education and teachings that I provide. So be sure to give me a follow on YouTube, and equally be sure to give me a follow on Instagram. And should you want to check out any of my work, have a look in my YouTube feed and have a look at my feed and my page on Instagram to find out more information about what it would be like to work with me. Equally, book in a call if you're feeling called, and let's jump on a call and see if working together is something that would suit you and something that will help you moving forward. Have an amazing day, everyone. Bye for now.